Welcome to the tutorial. Its role is to give a very brief overview of the basics so that you can start playing quickly. To learn more about the game, including a detailed explanation of each stage, the bridge is where you control the destroyer's maneuvers. You can click and drag the helm to steer. You can also type in a new course by clicking on the helm icon. Your current course can be read from the compass. In the top left corner of the screen, you can see the target bearing indicator. It tells you where the U-boat is in relation to the destroyer, as long as you have it on radar or sonar target bearing. If you don't, it shows where the sonar transceiver is currently pointing at. The three lines on the inner disc always show true north. You can control the speed via the engine order telegraph by clicking on any speed setting to select it. To each particular station, you can click the left mouse button and move the mouse around with the left mouse button pressed. This way, you can have a free look at each station in the game. Let's now change stations. You can move to the Combat Information Center by clicking on Combat. Combat is where you build your situational awareness and plan your attack. The radar can detect surface targets, but doesn't work against submerged targets. Our position is in the center, and the numbers around the display refer to cardinal points. North is 0/360. This is the convoy that you are protecting. Prevent the U-boat from reaching it at all cost. Once a U-boat appears on the radar man will start reporting on it, and you will be able to mark its position with the Dead Reckoning Tracer, DRT. You can click on DRT to bring up the DRT view. The DRT is a plot table that can greatly help your situational awareness. The moving light represents our destroyer and also has compass bearings on its outer circumference. You can use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out, or click it and hold to scroll the camera around. The two available scales are 1 to 1,000 yard and 1 to 1,000 yard and can be changed here. Make sure to use the 1 to 100 scale whenever the enemy is at 1,000 yard or closer. You can click on the center of the moving light to mark your current position. Then, listen to reports from radar or sonar to mark the enemy position. Updating the plot regularly will help your understanding of enemy maneuvers, and you can also snap the ruler to previous destroyer positions, as well as the two most recent U-boat positions. This allows you to estimate both destroyer and U-boat courses. After snapping the ruler to a point of reference, you can draw lines by clicking and dragging the mouse along the... If the plotting space becomes too crowded, you can erase everything by clicking on the Erase All button. If the elbow joint of the protractor arm gets in the way, you can click on it to move it to the other side. Lastly, if you find manual plotting too difficult, remember that you can turn autopilot on in the pause menu. You can also click on the pencil button on the right to engage the DRT's function to plot the own ship's maneuvers automatically. You can also adjust course and speed from combat. Now the own ship's course and target bearing projector is extremely useful when you are approaching a U-boat to make a depth charge attack. You can also observe both true bearings, numbers on the outer circumference, and relative bearings, inner circumference. You can click on the eraser icon to clear the plot. Again, if you find manual plotting too difficult, you can turn on Autoplot or the OSC in the pause menu. Still, to successfully attack a submerged U-boat, you must first learn how to... You can move to the sonar. Sonar lets you track submerged U-boats, and it is absolutely essential that you learn how to use it. The sonar can work in two different modes, true and relative. You can switch between the two. In true mode, all bearings on the sonar console relate to cardinal points, so north is always 360 degrees, east is 90 degrees, south is 180, and west is 270 degrees. This mode is convenient for long-range hunting, as it correlates well with radar, which also works with true bearings. The relative mode, on the other hand, uses relative bearings, which are calculated from the destroyer's bow, which is 360. You can see that this mode engages the compass. This mode is used during close-range hunting and final attack stages, as it allows you to determine the location of the U-boat much faster, regardless of the course you have taken. Please note that all bearings are considered true unless specified otherwise. Therefore, you can search for the U-boat manually by clicking and dragging the sonar indicator. You can also order a search arc of 90 or 180 degrees. You can use the icons on the right to control search arc width and the direction of the sweep. You can click on the highlighted